A very warm and delightful welcome to my channel. My name is Muhammad Salim and you're watching Pursuit of Motivation. Today in this video we are going to learn the second lesson of NCERT book Honeycomb of class 7th. The name of the lesson is A Gift of Chappals, written by Vasanta Surya. In this video, I'll cover the part 1 of this lesson. For part 2, watch my next video. And you can subscribe my channel if you like what I do. I hope you all are exuberant to learn this new lesson. So, let's get started. This lesson is written by Vasanta Surya. She is a journalist, translator, and poet. Vasanta Surya's stories for the young have appeared in Junior Quest, The Hindu Young World, and Chatterbox. Goruchakka Turns Up is the first of her Mridu in Madras series, and this chapter is taken from Mridu in Madras series, Goruchakka Turns Up. This story is set up in Madras, which at present is known as Chennai. The story is about the mischievous and simplicity of children's behavior. They wish to explore every aspect, but act according to their own logic. They gave chappals to the beggar and then to the music teacher without hesitation. Their sensitive heart melts easily. This story explores many themes. Kindness to animals is one of them. The children rescue and feed a stray cat. Also, they show compassion towards a beggar and hand over the music teacher's chappals to him. At the same time, there is a sarcastic comment on the practice of beggary in India. How beggars play on people's emotions to take advantage. A smiling Rukumani threw open the door. Ravi and Meena rushed out and Ravi pulled Mridu into the house. "Wait, let me take off my slippers," protested Mridu. She set them out neatly near a pair of large black ones. Those were grey, actually, with dust. You could see the clear mark of every toe on the front part of each slipper. The marks for the 2 big toes were long and scrawny. Mridu didn't have much time to wonder about whose slippers they were, because Ravi dragged her to the backyard, behind a thick bitter berry bush. There, inside a torn football lined with sacking and filled with sand, lay a very small kitten lapping up milk from a coconut harp shell. "We found him outside the gate this morning. He was mewing and mewing, poor thing," said Meena. "It's a secret. Amma says Pati will leave for our Padu Mama's house if she knows we have a cat." Scrawny. It means thin. Here, skinny toes. Pati. It means grandmother in Tamil. Mridu is a young girl growing up in Madras, now called Chennai, with Tapi, her grandmother, and Tata, her grandfather. One afternoon, Tapi takes her to her aunt Rukumani's house to meet her cousins, Lali, Ravi, and Meena. When she reaches there, she is welcomed by Ravi and Meena. Ravi pulls her inside the house. Mridu removes her slippers in a hurry, and she notices a pair of large black chappals, which were dusty, and there were marks of thin toes on both the slippers. Mridu didn't pay much attention to slippers as she was in a hurry. Both Ravi and Mridu went to the backyard where Mridu saw a small kitten having milk from a coconut half shell. Meena explained that they have found the kitten outside and it was hungry and they have kept it secret from Pati because she don't like the presence of pet animals in house. And if she will come to know about it, she will leave for Padu Mama's house. People are always telling us to be kind to animals, but when we are, they scream, "Oh, don't bring that dirty creature here," said Ravi. Do you know how hard it is just to get a little milk from the kitchen? Pati saw me with a glass in my hand just now. I told her I'm very hungry. I want to drink it. But the way she looked at me, I had to drink most of it to throw her off the scent. Then she wanted the tumbler back. Pati, I'll wash it myself. Why should I put you to trouble? I told her. I had to run and pour the milk into this coconut shell and then run back and wash the tumbler and put it back before she got really suspicious. Now we have to think of some other way to feed Mahindran. Mahindran? This little kitty's name is Mahindran? Mridu was impressed. It was a real name, not just a cute kitty cat name. Actually, his full name is Mahendra Verma Pallava Punnai, MP Punnai for short if you like. He's a fine breed of cat. Just look at his fur, like a lion's mane. And you know what the emblem of the ancient Pallava kings was, don't you? He looked expectantly at Mridu. Mridu giggled. Throw her off the scent. It means misled her so that she won't understand the real purpose. Ravi is puzzled with the behavior of people. He says that people always tell us to be kind to animals, but when we do so, they get angry. He also tells about the problems he is facing while arranging the food for the kitten. Once his party saw him with a glass of milk, and to divert her attention, he lied to her. But now he needs to find out other ways to feed Mahendran, the kitten. Mridu was impressed with the name Mahendran, as it was a real name. But Ravi exaggerates its name and says its full name is Mahendra Verma Pallava Punnai, MP Punnai for short. He also adds that it's not just an ordinary kitten, but a fine breed of cat. He then compares its fur to lion's mane, but he didn't stop there. He asked Mridu whether she knew about Pallava king's emblem, at which Mridu laughs. Think I'm joking? Well, just wait. I'll show you sometime. It's clear you don't know a thing about history. Haven't been to Mahabalipuram? Have you? He said mysteriously. Well, when our class went to Mahabalipuram, I saw a statue of his tatas, etc. Fact is, Mahendran here is descended from that very same ancient cat, a close relative, scientifically speaking, of none other than the lion, the Pallava lion, emblem of the Pallava dynasty. Ravi went on, walking around the bitter berry bush, waving a twig up and down, his eyes sparkling. This cat is a descendant of none other than the Mahabalipuram Rishi cat. And if I may just remind you, they worshipped cats in ancient Egypt. How he loved the sound of his own voice. Meena and Mridu exchanged looks. What does that have to do with anything? Mridu demanded. I'm telling you, this cat is descended from the Egyptian cat god. No, goddess. Bastet. Yeah, that's it. So, well, one of the descendants of that cat goddess was a stowaway in one of the Pallava ships. And his descendant was the Mahabalipuram Rishi cat, whose descendant is... Ravi flourished his twig at Mahindran. MP Punnai here. Whoop, eek, he shrieked, very pleased with himself. Tata, it means grandfather in Tamil. Descended from, it means a descendant of, or comes from, or the same family. Stowaway, it means someone who hides himself or herself in a ship or an aircraft to travel unnoticed. Ravi was so much into praising the kitten, he ridiculed Mridu by saying that she knew nothing about history, as she has never been to Mahabalipuram, but he has went there with his classmates and he saw a statue of the Pallava lion, which is the emblem of Pallava dynasty, and Mahindran is the descendant of that ancient cat, the Pallava lion. Ravi was very excited. He claimed that this cat is a descendant of Mahabalipuram Rishi cat. He also said that the cats were worshipped in ancient Egypt. Meena and Mridu were looking at each other while Ravi was enjoying his own speech. Mridu interrupted him and asked him what is the use of it. He supports his explanation by saying that Mahindran is a descendant of none other than Egyptian goddess. He further explains that one of the Egyptian cat goddess descendant came to Mahabalipuram, whose descendant was Mahabalipuram Rishi cat, and Mahindran is the descendant of that Rishi cat. And after explaining all this, he shouted with excitement. Mahindran looked up, alarmed. He had just been sharpening his claws on the edge of the coconut shell. But worse than Ravi's awful whoop eek was a screech from the window. What a weird sound! If Mridu was startled, MP Punnai was frightened out of his wits. Hair standing on end, he bounced and scurried towards a bamboo tray of red chilies that had been set out to dry. Trying to hide beneath it, he tipped a few chilies over himself. Meow! He howled miserably. The screeching went on and on. What's that noise? Said Mridu. That's Lali learning to play the violin, grunted Ravi. She'll never learn a thing. The music master just goes on playing like a train, whizzing on and on, while Lali's all the time derailing, going completely off the track. Weird. It means strange or unusual. Mahindran was sharpening his claws on the edge of the coconut shell and was frightened by the sound made by Ravi. But even more frightening was the sharp crunch sound coming from the window. Mridu got annoyed with the sound. Mahendran was so afraid that he moved towards the bamboo tray of red chilies, and all of the chilies fell over him, which brought him even more misery, and he started howling in pain. Mridu crept up to the window. Lali was sitting a little distance away, awkwardly holding her violin and bowstring, her elbows jutting out and her eyes glazed with concentration. In front of her, with most of his back to the window, was the bony figure of the music master. He had a mostly bald head with a fringe of oiled black hair falling around his ears and an old-fashioned tuft. A gold chain gleamed around his leathery neck, and the diamond ring glittered on his hand as it glided up and down the stem of the violin. A large foot stuck out from beneath his gold-bordered waisty edge, and he was beating time on the floor with a scrawny big toe. He played a few notes. Lali stumbled behind him on her violin, which looked quite helpless and unhappy in her hands. What a difference! The music master's notes seemed to float up and settle perfectly into the invisible tracks of the melody. It was like the wheels of a train fitting smoothly into the rails and whizzing along. As Ravi said, Mridu stared at that huge, beringed hand moving effortlessly up the violin stem, making lovely music. Squawk! There was Lali derailing again. Amma! Came a wail from the gate. Amma oh! Glided. It means moved along smoothly. Veshti. It means dhoti in Tamil. Stumbled. It means followed haltingly or nervously. Beringed. It means wearing a ring. Mridu peeped through the window. She saw Lali holding her violin in an unusual way. She was sitting in front of the music teacher, who was a skinny man, mostly bald-headed, with a strand of oiled black hair falling around his ears with an old-fashioned crest. He was wearing a gold chain around his long leathery neck and a diamond ring which was shining while he was moving his hands up and down. He has stood his broad foot out from under his gold-bordered veshti and was beating his thin feet rhythmically on the floor. Music master played few notes on violin. Lali tried to follow him, but felt helpless as her notes were out of order. But music teacher was playing it perfectly. His each note fitted at its place. It was like the wheels of a train fitting smoothly into the rails. Mridu was looking at the music teacher's hand, which was moving with ease up the violin stem and was making lovely music. But Lali was still struggling with the notes. In the meanwhile, a beggar shouted from the gate. That's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Till next time, take care, stay blessed.